Welcome back everybody. It's a May bank holiday weekend and today I'm going to be cooking something very special. It's a seasonal dish. I've got beautiful rack of lamb there, two lovely racks of English spring lamb. It's about 1.5 kilos there, roughly 750 grams of rack. Now these are Jersey Royal potatoes, my favourite potatoes. They're also in season, and at the same time British asparagus tips, they're in season as well. So all this is in season at the moment. It's going to be a lovely dish. I've got some rosemary there and some cloves of garlic, which is just going to go in the tin with the lamb. What we're going to do, we're going to sear off our lamb and then finish it off in the oven. I'm going to griddle the asparagus. I'm going to brush it with some olive oil and put some sea salt on it. I'm just going to boil our potatoes and then we're going to serve them with some melted butter over the top. I've got some sea salt, black pepper, olive oil. I've got a frying pan for searing off my lamb, griddle pan for my asparagus, saucepan over there for my potatoes. I've got a tin for the lamb when it goes in the oven. Obviously going to need some tongs for searing off the lamb. So first things first, we're going to preheat our oven. While that's heating up, I'm going to wash my Jersey Royals. Now these are beautiful. They're in season right now, May. As I said, everything's in season. Lovely dish. We don't want to scrub them too hard. We're just going to rinse them under cold water and rub them with our fingers to get the dirt off. And then we're going to boil those for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wash those. And then we'll start searing our lamb, getting this dish together. I can't wait. So let's get cooking. Right, there we go. That's our beautiful Jersey Royal potatoes. Now I've got just over 1 kilo there. Look at the colour of those skins. Whatever you do, don't peel them because the flavour is all in the skins. They're absolutely beautiful. Now these come from the island of Jersey in the Channel Islands. A lot of people probably won't be able to get hold of these potatoes, so you can substitute them for new potatoes, baby new potatoes, you know, Charlotte potatoes. You could do roast potatoes with this if you want. I just wanted to do everything seasonal today, so I've gone for the Jersey Royals. Beautiful. So they're ready to go. I've got my rosemary in the tin. Now I'm not going to peel this garlic. I'm just going to give it a little bash with the flat side of the knife. And I'm just going to throw them in there, and I'm going to lay the racks on top of those. So I'll put that to one side. That's my asparagus. I've washed it and I've just trimmed the ends off. So you've got nice clean ends there. That's ready to be griddled. So next step is to drizzle some olive oil on our racks. Beautiful racks of lamb. So I'm just going to rub that in. Then I'm going to wash my hands and then I'm going to season them. So back in a sec. Okay, so that's our freshly ground black pepper on the racks there. I'm going to get a heat under my frying pan, full on, and I'm going to carry on seasoning these. So plenty of freshly ground black pepper and a good sprinkle of sea salt all over. Turn these over. There's a bit of fat on there, that's what you want. You don't want to get rid of all the fat, you want some fat on there. These have been French trimmed, as you can see. Either way, it's fine. But I'm cooking for 4 people today, so there's plenty of meat to go around here. It's probably like 4 cutlets each. And you could stretch this to 5 people or even 6 people if you're small eaters. So pan should be getting hot now. Right, that's enough seasoning. Give it a few more seconds for our pan. Now you want to do this a minute or two. on the fat side, get that fat nice and browned up, and then a little touch on the ends and underneath. So I'm going to start on the fat side. Obviously I'm going to do one rack at a time. So I'm going to leave that for about 2 minutes, and then the sides where there's no fat, I'm just going to do like 30 seconds to a minute just to seal it. So I'm going to carry on doing that. Okay, there we go. That's our racks have been nicely seared. So a good couple of minutes for the skin side, 30 seconds to a minute on the other sides. So in they go. You can kind of interlock them like that if you want. There we go. Right, stuff that in there. Try and get them to sit on top of the rosemary. The oil that's come out of the racks. And pour that over. Right, now, I'm going to put these in the oven for about 20 minutes. I mean, if you want them medium rare, very pink, then 15 minutes. Medium, 20 minutes. Depends on the size of the rack. So if you want them well done, half an hour or so. I'm going to go 20 minutes and I'm going to check them after that. If they need a little bit longer, I'll put them back in. So in they go, 20 minutes. While that was going on, I was boiling up a kettle of water over there for my potatoes. So swap that round, get a full on heat under there, bring them to the boil, and then we're going to turn them back down again. You want to simmer them, gently bubbling for about 20 minutes. We're going with a couple of good pinches of sea salt there. So I'm going to bring those to the boil, then turn them down with a gentle bubble, and I'm going to cook those for 20 minutes. Same time as our rack. The rack will be resting afterwards. So I'm just going to carry on doing that. Okay, right, our potatoes have been bubbling away like that for about 6 minutes. In the meantime, I've got my griddle pan on. That's heating up very nicely. We're going to get it to a nice hot temperature. Lamb's been in the oven just over 10 minutes. So because I'm going to have to do these in 2 batches, I'm going to start now because it's going to take like 5 minutes a batch. So some sea salt. A little bit of black pepper. I've drizzled these with olive oil and gave them a little mix up so they're coated with oil, sea salt and black pepper. And as you can hear, a nice little sizzle there. It's going to take about 5 minutes. So keep turning them. You can boil them if you want, so you can put them in a frying pan or you can steam them. But I decided to griddle them, get some nice char lines on them. They're very tasty. You don't want to overboil them. They're nice, beautiful British asparagus in season. So there you go. It's going to take 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to carry on with that. Potatoes are cooking away nicely. I'm going to get some butter out of the fridge. So that's going to melt over the top. Beautiful buttered Jersey Royal. The lamb's going to have to rest for about 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, covered in foil. So yeah, we're on schedule here. Smelling good. See you in a minute. Right, as you can see, our asparagus is charring off very nicely. I'm on my second batch. Beautiful, nice char grilled asparagus there. Potatoes have got, say, another 5 or 6 minutes to go. My lamb has had 20 minutes, exactly. Out it comes. Now, I've tested it, and that's going to be beautiful. Alright, it's nice and pink. I'm going to cover that over, just like that, and I'm going to leave that to rest for 8 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to wait for my potatoes. My asparagus is almost done. Putting them on a plate, I can keep them warm in the oven. Everything's going nicely. Have a look at these. Yeah, charring up very nicely. Just olive oil, sea salt, bit of black pepper, Beautiful, in season. And as I said, it's going to be for 4 people today, so just over 1 kilo of potatoes. I will check these once they've had 20 minutes. If they're still a bit too firm, I might give them a few more minutes to make sure they're done. So, not long to go now. Okay, our Jersey Royal potatoes have had about 21 minutes. I've tested them with a knife and they feel just perfect to me. I'm going to drain those off. Drain all the water off. I'm going to put them back in the pan. I'm just going to set that on a small burner on a very low heat, just for a few minutes, just to get rid of the excess moisture. Lamb's been resting for about 5 minutes. I'm going to give that another 3 minutes, and then I'm going to start plating up. My asparagus is now on a very hot plate, because that's been in the oven for 3 minutes. That's ready to serve. Potatoes are ready to serve, drying off nicely. Lamb's got a couple more minutes to rest, then I'm going to cut it into nice cutlets, and I'm going to plate up, and I'll show you what the final result is then. Right, the moment of truth. Our lamb's had about 10 minutes resting under the foil. I've loosened the fatty skin off the top, and I'm going to slice it up and serve it. And if you don't want to eat that, you don't have to, but that's very tasty, that bit. So here we go. Let's take one of our racks, put it on the chopping board. Right, let's go from this side first. Oh, perfect, look at that. Absolutely perfect. As I said, if you don't want it that pink, you can go for another 5 minutes. If you want it well done, give it a good half an hour. But that is just perfect. By the time it goes on a hot plate and serves, that's going to be beautiful. Melt in the mouth. As I said, spring lamb, all in season. There's our asparagus, there's our potatoes. I'm going to get plated up, I'm going to butter those potatoes, carve the rest of this lamb. Beautiful. See you in a minute. And there we have it, everybody. Beautiful rack of lamb, nice and pink, Jersey Royals, butter melting in, char grilled asparagus, bit of the crispy fat with meat on the side there. If you want it, it's very tasty. I'm going to serve this with a little bit of mint sauce on the side. And last but not least, a nice glass of Languedoc from France. Beautiful. I can't wait to get stuck into that. That is an absolutely beautiful seasonal dish. Lovely May bank holiday weekend. Wow, I'm really going to enjoy this. Please, thanks for all your support, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. That smells lovely.